I decided that my journey through perimenopause would be my Playful Goddess phase. Now, for anyone who knows me, yes, I do like to be a little bit loud and outgoing, but that's not the whole part of me. And playfulness isn't just about being loud and running around like a loon, even though I enjoy doing that also. It's about being more curious, and that might be about my thoughts. It might be about actually what happens during perimenopause and the symptoms that we experience. But it can be curiosity. Oh, I see a bird and wonder what it is. Actually get curious. Go back to being a kid where we wanted to find out about things purely for the sake of finding them out. I noticed that all of my Google searches were very, instructional. It was because I was trying to figure something out, or how to do something, whether it be recipes or a craft activity. I was trying to make something. And I am trying to get curious about stuff that isn't just simply for a purpose. Oh, I wonder why. That's such a nice thing to be curious about. And there's no purpose to it. It's simply for the sake of curiosity. Also, playfulness is about being creative and finding a way that you can express yourself, not to sell it or, and I know a lot of you will be yelling out, but I'm crap at art, I'm crap at drawing or whatever. Nobody's crap at drawing. It's all in the perception, and it's about the process, not the finished article. I love the act of making things. I'm never going to sell them. I'm not really interested in selling them. It's the mental and physical act of just creating something, getting something out of here onto paper, or making something more crafty, like working with resin or macrame or anything like that. Also, allowing our imaginations to be used for the powers of good. Quite often, I've spoken to so many women that say they've got a really active imagination, but it only takes them down dark paths. It's that worst case scenario kind of shit that's going on. What if this happens? And oh my God, what if people laugh at me? Blah, 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 blah. What if we could turn that active imagination and use it for powers of good? Bring it into our journaling, into our creative activities, and not just allowing ourselves to spiral in a dark way or down a path that isn't serving us. Using our imaginations is something that we lose quite often as we get older, because it's not seen as acceptable to be that daydreamer or make fantastical things up. But think about all of our authors, fictional authors. Think about screenwriters, directors, the weird crap that comes out of people's heads, and it makes a lot of money. It brings a lot of joy to the world. And if they didn't have the imagination, they wouldn't have brought that gift to the world. Artists, we don't necessarily like every piece of art, but you got to respect somebody else's process and the fact that they created this thing, whatever it is. And playfulness, for me, the biggest part has been finding my joy again. Going back to when I was a child, what is it that brought me joy then? And I remembered that I loved dancing, and dancing was something that I had stopped doing for a really long time, apart from the very occasional, drunken mates party I might have attended. But it wasn't something I was doing regularly at all. And so I started dancing again, not in any professional capacity, but I'll dance around at home. It's part of my morning routine to get moving, even just one song's worth. Sometimes it'll be with my daughter. She loves a bit of a boogie too. We find it very therapeutic. Sometimes even in the car, we'll turn the volume up nice and loud and thrash out and let everyone else around us think we're crazy. Sometimes it's organising discos for other women to come along to, where we can dance freely without, feeling awkward. So that was amazing, but also finding new ways of bringing myself joy, and that's getting back singing again. I joined a band and just loving that, expressing that performing part of me, and almost having that sort of alter ego, but not letting it be an alter ego anymore, actually taking that on board, that is one part of me, just one part of me. So embrace your playfulness. Playfulness isn't what you think it is necessarily. Explore all of those facets of yourself and find what works for you. And remember that it's okay to simply experiment, try things out purely for the sake of having some fun or bringing joy into your life or for being curious.